Mr. Chair, I would really be in favor of maybe having, our monthly reports that we receive, have someone from Casella go through and let us know, how much does Alton and Old Town receive for tip and fees, and what's used for daily cover, and
I think
what the fees.
you have a summary of dollars on that summary sheet.
Of them, yeah.
Each town's getting.
Yeah, but I mean, what, Peggy did it at one time and almost drove her and someone else nuts.
Well, we have another one right
But-
here. She's going
Oh,
to
does she?
address this.
Oh,
Just a
okay,
minute.
good.
Okay. One more.
Yes, excuse me. Just to be clear, my question really doesn't concern what the fees the towns receive as
Right.
part of their community agreements. My question has to do, what is the fee that's paid at the gate or, by contract when this waste, municipal solid waste bypass, at any point in time, whether it's for this layer, this soft cover layer, or for any other reason, what is paid as a tipping fee for bringing that into the Old Town landfill? That's my question.
We'll pursue that.
Okay. What I'm going to do is,
Thank you.
Peggy's good enough to come here. We're going to hold her all evening. She's
Been
made
here
up a
14
report.
hours already.
She's
What's
made
another?
She's made up some reports.
You're not blaming me for that, are you?
Yes, I am. It's your fault.
That's right. Started at 7 this morning.
I have that.
You got that?
I've got it.
Okay.
I got it from the
Peggy
meeting at
involved in
7.
these reports briefly with us, and at least have a copy and take it home. I think that's what Laura was referring to. What she had done last year.
There's a difference.
Oh, I saw that's. Oh, yeah. Give him that one. I'll take one. There you go.
You all set?
Yeah, I'm all set.
You have two reports, and I'm going to be presenting this to the council on Monday. I try to give to them a spreadsheet that shows where the monies that we received in tipping fees have gone to. Just for my own purpose, so that when I do retire, you guys aren't calling me up years from now wanting to know where the money is. We've tracked the waste that has been gone into the landfill on a monthly basis since 2004. And you can see in the second page of that report, it's steadily increased. This past year, it was about 712,000 tons. We've also tracked, for some unknown reason, we figured that it would come to light at some point, the leachate summary, how much leachate has been actually transported off the landfill to be treated at another treatment facility. We've also tracked the landfill gas in cubic feet. I'm not sure I can't extrapolate that data and tell you exactly what it means, but it's a fairly steady number, and it's just worth looking at. We track the complaints that come in, and what I try to do is I try to put it in a summary form so that I can have a good comparison. And I've got, all these are on the website too, by the way. From 2005 to 2010, when we first started, we had 189 total complaints. This past year, it was 27 complaints. Part of that's indicated by the mixing and the stabilizing of the slope, and what that opening that sludge dump up to that stabilization caused in terms of complaints. Most of them are odor related. Then there's a narrative on what we've used the tipping fees for. But I think we also have a tracking mechanism from 2005 to 2010 of the number of trucks based on the reports that we received. And we've just plugged in a number for those trucks that are over 30 tons, and to figure out what the percentage is, whether it's a trend analysis or not. We haven't really done any assessment on it, but those reports are there on the website. We've also tried to keep them up, the waste activity spreadsheets, which are by month. They go by year. We have a waste summary from 2005 to 2006. It starts with the trucks, where they came from.
Where are we?
I'm just reading what's on the website.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We have the waste from 2007, 8, 9, and 10 have the detail that you have in front of you. And so what I try to do to make it simpler for the council and anyone to look at is to get a snapshot picture per year. And we started tracking it by type of waste. We've got the mill waste that we track, the Lincoln Pulp and Paper Mill, the bulky oversized construction demolition debris waste, the front-end process residue, the fines, which I've listened to you folks either on TV or been at these meetings. The fines has been an issue that you wanted to know about. Those are used to cover. The wastewater treatment facilities around the state are using this landfill, and we get that information from the reports that you get monthly as well. The MSW bypass and map that is intercompany, which is designated by the I/C. Those are all the waste which Casella themselves transport to the landfill. And it also tracks the front-end process residue, which has been an issue in terms of odor and odor management. There's also this new addition of a fluff layer, which I think is the soft layer that Charlie was talking about, that was the subject of the DEP hearing today. There's errors in this in terms of reconciliation, because I have a tendency to, as I get tired and transpose numbers and I flip them around. But on the most part, there's a fairly consistent accuracy to this that gives me as a municipal overseer a better understanding of what the activity is there. You'll see that the biomedical waste is in the 615 tons this past year. The fluff layer is about 14,000 tons. By comparison, it's a lot less than what your C&D is designated for, or the front-end process residue, or the ash from the incinerators. It's being used primarily for what it's designed for, and it served a purpose. So these are all records, and if you check it out on the website, you'll see the color. Anything that's exempt is in yellow, because we wanted to be able to reconcile that, and we reconcile that with all the reports. So you can see that at the end of that spreadsheet is a Casella-eligible tons. We didn't know whether as a town we needed to track what we were going to be paid on the host fee, so we started doing that. It's also a good method for figuring out what is exempted and what's used for odor control, cover, self-construction, things along those lines. So I don't know how often you go on the website, but that information is all up there. We don't necessarily put it up on a monthly basis. Sometimes we do 3 months at a time. It's been difficult keeping track of that and keeping up with it because of the workload. But the host agreements are both on the website. I think they're also part of the economic development website, so you'll find it in a couple of locations. But hopefully we've made it easy so people can get that information and look at it. I like to be able to look and compare one year to the next. It makes more sense to me than looking at a singular monthly report. It doesn't mean anything to me until I collectively gather it.
Very good, thank you. Any questions from committee members? Give us a lot to digest all at once. Yeah. Oh, Mary, Ms. Dolan?
Mary Dolan. I was just wondering, is somebody posting the meetings? Because I didn't see this meeting on the website today. Is there somebody who's in charge of getting meetings up?
I don't know. I mean, this is something that Peter calls meetings. And
yeah, I was just wondering what would be the best way, because I know I wanted to check the time. I didn't know whether it was 6 or 7, and I went to the website and there was nothing about it. So I was just wondering.
Yeah, we post our meetings on a monthly basis because we have routine meetings. This is something that, as a committee, they decide when those meetings are going to be.
I
think there was a little mix-up on this. I don't know.
Okay.
It didn't get on the website, but I think there was an error in the paper too.
Yes, there was. Well, the date was right, but the day was
The day
wrong.
was wrong, and then
Yeah,
somebody brought to my
yesterday.
attention that the location was omitted or something on one of the ads or something. So, yeah, we'll try to keep an eye on it.
We can always try to do better with that. We're getting better at using our website. hopefully the public access channel will be up and we'll have some slides on it so that we can utilize that too. But it's a learning curve.
I think that's it then. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's go to the committee's input on alternating meetings, going to other locations for the meetings. Charlie gave us a letter several meetings back. Omitted it from the agenda on several occasions, but that he suggested, and I think committee members need to address it. His suggestion was locating the meetings at different municipalities participating in this committee, and I guess that's what, in essence, what it is. How does the committee feel about that? Going from one town to the other, and how would we address that? I think it would be difficult, at least at this time, until this bill goes through, we find out the funding's there, we can pay somebody to be permanently attached to the committee. But if we go to different locations, I think we need to discuss how we would take the minutes and publicize the meetings and everything. Any thoughts on that?
If I could, Peter?
Yeah.
I think it's with the pending retirement of Charlie. I know I'm going to have a difficult time finding a code enforcement officer that takes place. He does additional things, which includes the landfill. And so I'm not sure there's anybody I can pluck from city government right now to handle that task. So, and in listening to Mrs. Dolan, there's an expectation that the city is in charge of this. And this is, you folks are a state committee. You operate really independent of us in many ways, but I think you're dependent on us for getting certain things done. And certainly we don't mind that, but there's this cross connection that doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense administratively. And this has become, as opposed to it being a state committee, it's become more assumed that it's a city committee.
Well, I think that's described it well. This is the state statute organized this committee and then left us in limbo. I think we went through that a few weeks ago, and I had my tantrum about dissolving it because we didn't know where we were going, what we were supposed to be doing, weren't getting a lot of support out of the state. So I think we need to establish that, and maybe this may be premature now to do that until we find out, which will probably happen in the next several months, where we're going with the city, and then at that time we talk about the funding of it, and we talked about funding coming out of that, what's the fee, I guess the fee that, the fee.
The impact fee?
The impact fee. We talked about that, and I think the municipalities receiving impact fees have to share also the cost, so the percentage is distributed to the towns involved.
True, but I mean, what I observed tonight, I would hope my other committees wouldn't do to others what took place tonight. You know, I would think that there would be standards of conduct on both sides, because it doesn't bode well for the city to have that kind of activity going on.
These issues have been going on for a year or two. In other words, it's about the committee, the organization, the bylaws, and all of that. And April 8th, I may not be here for another meeting. I think you need to take some action.
On the date, I wasn't aware that there was a date.
April 8th is the date.
You need to start taking some action with some of these things before, not after. This can't go on forever. The committee needs to really grasp a hold of bylaws, how it's going to be functioned, how we're going to deal with all of this.
Not to mention, Mr. Chairman, I also think that we need to, Charlie has been very able as our secretary, and I think we will need to elect or appoint, as you may wish, a secretary, and because Charlie will not be here for another meeting.
We'll need to do that, yeah. And I didn't know you were leaving that soon. But there was someone, I guess. Okay, we need to address that. So you're leaving in April, you're leaving the city in April. Okay, well, how does the committee wish to, any suggestions? What we do?
I'll go on a limb and say the town of Alton will host the next meeting and supply the secretarial, whatever needs to be done.
Okay, and the notices and so forth?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. That'll get us out
Okay,
of our
Dana?
behind temporarily.
You're going to be behind me?
I was just going to nominate you as the secretary.
You may end up being that way. I'll post it. Okay. Okay, let's put that into the record.
Yeah, and it will be at the Alton School, better, I think, in the library at the Alton School rather than the municipal building.
Is there some advantage to having them here when they can be on TV?
When they can, yeah. But they, we talked at the last meeting, is there the old system going to be available, or did the school do anything with the old system?
They've asked for it, but there's certain pieces that have to stay at the library, but they're going to get whatever equipment is not needed.
This system isn't functioning, is it?
It's just about 99% functioning,
No.
So-
which means staff is not comfortable. So we probably should be able to do next week's council meetings and workshop meetings.
Is tonight on?
No, we have the microphones on.
Maybe
so
that's
that
good.
It's picking up the sounds. Yeah, I'm really pleased that we weren't on TV tonight.
Yeah. So am I. So am I. Okay. If that's agreeable to everyone, we'll
Well,
do that.
thank
We'll
you.
take a date. And I'll work with Laura on that. And
We'll get
we
through
need
one
to
month.
discuss
We-
definitely. Excuse me. what?
Then we'll, by that, I don't know what your thoughts are on our bylaws, but, sometime we better do
Well,
it, but
yeah.
it is, a
It's-
long evening tonight.
One thing is getting late, and
Right.
the other thing is we have two members missing, and I
Right.
think prefer that everybody participate. So we'll have that on the agenda for the next meeting. And I think we've got to come up with some concrete procedure,
I think we need some rules before we start our meeting.
Yeah. Yes.
Tom
go
Gilbert,
ahead.
can I make a suggestion that you advise me as to where I'm to send my reports, since they won't be going to Charlie anymore, that end up to you guys?
Well, if you send them to us, certainly we can keep a mailbox for you, so that you
Okay.
can come and get them at any point in time. So that would make it easier, so the address would stay.
Otherwise, if you provide me
Okay.
with the secretary, have a designated secretary, I can copy them on my emails that go.
Well, I think that's what we'll try to decide at the next meeting, if we have a permanent secretary. And then, but I think it's a good suggestion that they can come in. I get a copy of them, you send them to the chair, so.
I think we do have, for a lot of stuff now, we do it electronically. In other words, all the minutes and all of the reports and things like that are sent out electronically. And I would think you would volunteer to, in other words, continue as this stuff comes in. It's not a big deal
It's easy just to forward it on.
to
Yeah.
forward
And
this
to
stuff
be honest,
on.
Charlie's probably going to stay on as a 15-hour-a-week person, because we've got the mill expansion, we've got the dam removal, we've got the landfill gas project that you just heard about, and we've got, what's the other things that are going on? We got the Old Town Canoe, that whatever's
We
going to
have
happen
the mill
with
project,
that.
a big one. We have Labree's Bakery.
Right, okay, so there's 5 pretty large, significant projects that I think it'd be too bad to throw somebody new into that and then have to deal with code enforcement as well as landfill. So I'm hoping that I can at least be able to cherry pick the best of his times to do certain things.
Okay.
I'm hoping we're going to start a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Whether that happens, I don't know.
And when you talk about comprehensive plans, I think it's, there was a lot of disrespect tonight, but, it's been one heck of a long winter. Everybody is right, no matter where you go, in Hamden the other night, it's not these people here. Everybody is just ready for spring.
Yeah.
Everybody's at wit's end.
I spent some quality time with a snowmobile that was stuck on the Forester and right up to here. Yeah, you're right. That's why I was late tonight.
Yeah.
I apologize.
We should have some public comment for
Yeah,
a
we'll
little
go ahead
period
with
of
public
time.
comment. Yeah, go ahead.
All I want to say, I know it's late, and thanks to everybody for coming. Could I make a suggestion that I think getting something in rules is really important, just so, you know, we don't see in front of BEP again, you know, just for example, an appeal where Casella's lawyer says, well, you didn't adopt rules yet, so you have no standing automatically. And what I would suggest is that if there are some proposed rules out there, that you could circulate them amongst yourself and just ask for feedback amongst yourself, okay, between now and the next
Well, that's
meeting.
what we've done. There. We have them all drawn up.
Oh,
We have a
okay.
draft all drawn
Okay,
up.
so maybe
And they've been distributed. We need to go over them, but I think we need to address them
Yeah,
with the full
well-
committee. No, we're in pretty good shape. Laura typed up for the
Okay.
last meeting. She
Well,
had them-
could we start with that next meeting?
No, that's what we're going to do. I
Okay.
think. But tonight's important thing, the most important thing was, as you well know, everybody's been concerned about the gas
Yeah,
standards
no, I
at the
understand.
university. So that was
Sure.
the emphasis on Peggy. We had a meeting, some of us, this morning with Peggy at 7 o'clock this morning. So she's been going since 7. So I moved her up on that too. So, but we do.
Yep.
Comments, just to address your comment, we've got the draft ready. We just need to go over the draft, agree to it, and then we're gonna, and exactly, because I'm the one that went down and,
Yeah, I
justified.
second what Laura's saying too. I think it's too bad with John there, but the frustration level amongst everybody in the population right now it's just palpable. You know, it's just a very tense this season here, and hopefully, I heard today, guy said this is the last Arctic air outbreak until next winter. So,
Hold you
I hope he
to
was
it.
right.
He's selling you a bridge as well?
So it's agreeable that we just, if it's agreeable, we'll do further. Bylaws to the next meeting. Public comment, we go with that. We can't be many comments left.
Well, we've had a lot of comments.
Yeah, we've got a lot. So we got them all.
I would just, on the overweight trucks, the percentage is going up, and I just hope that, because is Wayne still there, or is he sleeping? You know,
No, I'm
that you keep track, you know, just pay attention to your reports.
Anything else? I'll accept that. I'll go with that.
Second that motion?
Second. Moved and seconded. Ralph motion. Second. All those in favor? Amen.
Thank you.